We own a short-term rental in the Joshua Tree area of California, and there are a lot of hidden costs when it comes to owning your short-term rental that you won't know about until you're in it.
So here are the hidden costs of owning an Airbnb. Number one is kind of obvious, like we had to state it, and that's the permit. The permit price will vary dependent on the county that you're in, the state that you're in, and it will swing pretty wide. There are some people that have a $20 yearly permit. There's some people that have like a 2-3 year permit, and ours, which is yearly.
Now is yearly. It was 2 years, but now it's yearly, and I believe it's $650.
Yes. It was $800 for 2 years, and then they dropped it down to $600 for the year. So that is a cost that, you spread that out over the month. That's like the price of, an internet service, if you think about it that way. But nobody really tells you that going into it. So if you are looking to get into an Airbnb,
you might want to call your local county and look into how much that permit is, because you definitely want to factor that into what you're paying monthly or annually to own your short-term rental. The second thing that we didn't really realize going into this was our outdoor furniture, our patio furniture. We are in a crazy climate up here. We've got wind, rain, sometimes snow, sun beating down, 118-degree weather sometimes during the summer, and our furniture gets messed up. And because they don't make, whoever they are, don't make good quality wood products anymore.
Or the type that you would want to put at a short-term rental that are going to get abused by the sun are not the ones you're going to want to buy for your short-term rental.
So something you want to think about is planning maybe every 2 to 4 years, depending. Got to think about how your furniture is going to deteriorate over time and be abused by your guests. And you may want to be replacing that furniture every 2 to 4 years, depending.
Reviews are such an important part of your business. If people leave bad reviews, your listing will get lowered in ranking. And one thing that can do that is broken furniture, just old furniture. We've stayed at a ton of Airbnbs over the world. I can tell you that outdoor furniture just starts to wear. We have a friend of a friend that has a really nice Airbnb in LA around a pool and everything. The pool chairs are starting to look worn. The sun just destroys them. And so you need to think about that going into it. Okay, if you're going to buy outdoor furniture, don't buy it at Z Gallery.
Really expensive.
Yeah,
because it's going to wear down either way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the quality of the build. Unless it's made out of stone, the wood furniture will just fade. We have chairs in the back. We have restained a couple of times, and we've saved money doing it that way. We'll sand it down with a teak. What's it called?
Yeah, it's like a teak wash. And we'll just wash it off and just give it a little love. And we do that probably once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe we'll do it next year. I don't even know if we'll do it this year because we did such a good job on them last year. That's something you could do. I think a lot of times when you have a manager on your property, those are things that get missed.
Yeah.
Your rusty pool furniture. If you have metal pool furniture, it's probably rusting if it's a few years old, especially if you're in a beach community. Those are just things that you really want to think about as an owner. Even if you have a manager, they're not looking at that very meticulously. And if they are, amazing. You got a great manager.
This is kind of like a tack on to the end of this, but it's so interesting because we notice as we drive around, because we're kind of we're always looking at which properties are short-term rentals out here and which ones aren't. We can see when there's a brand new short-term rental, they'll put out lounge chairs with cushions and an umbrella. And we're oh, I give that a month or two. We tried putting up a shade sail.
That's not gonna happen, buddy.
There's wind out here. The rats will come and eat the fluff out of the furniture. It's just these are things that you don't think about. And if you're in a mountain climate, tell us in the comments what kind of outdoor furniture troubles you experience in your climate, because I'm sure it's different. Mountains, snow, all that stuff.
And I know we say this a lot, but I think us being here and actually working on the home ourselves and being involved in that aspect and seeing the climate, having a few months of renovations and being here physically, we saw things like the shade sail wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then it snapped off as soon as a big gust of wind came.
And outdoor furniture is important. People book Airbnbs to sit on the patio, to enjoy the outdoors because they probably live in an apartment or in a city or something like that.
Knowing that that is going to be a cost if you decide to do something that is really fancy and it's not set up for your area.
The next thing that you might not think about in cost, and this is not a monetary cost, it can be, but it's more of a physical and time cost, is land and yard maintenance. If you have a house in the suburbs, you're gonna have to pay a gardener. If you have a house in the mountains, it's probably gonna be covered with leaves in the fall. We watched a YouTube video of like a bird, Airbnb covered in bird houses, and it's like, that's gonna be covered in bird poop. Ooh. Like the maintenance of keeping your Airbnb looking like the photos, we have to do it once a year where we come out and we sweat.
Maybe a couple times a year, depending, because we have a tree in the back that does lose its leaves in the fall, and there's leaves everywhere. We've got to clean those up. Like you've seen us do, the weeding that we do, and you can grade the land, but...
And that's what I was gonna say about you can pay somebody to do it, but it's a hidden cost that you don't think about. Because like you come in, you set up your listing and you make it all nice. And then you come back, let's say it's an out of state listing. You come back 6 months later, there's weeds, there's, dog poop everywhere.
Poop.
Outside, because that happens. It's happened out here.
If you allow pets or wild animals or just roaming around.
Yeah, we had this morning, there was a ground squirrel, they're desert ground squirrels that dug underneath our concrete foundation of our driveway, and I had to fill it with rocks and cover it back up because over time that'll wear and that could ruin the foundation of your home. Like things like that you don't think about when you're going to purchase a short-term rental.
Yeah.
Just know that there's an investment in that and you can pay someone to do it, but find a property that is as headache-free as possible.
Owning a home in general, it's just forever maintenance. There's always something
that's the
going
joys
to be happening.
That's the joys of home ownership,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so while we were filming this, we forgot one, and that is all the software that goes into owning a short-term rental. And that is besides all the Airbnb fees and normal stuff, we didn't include utilities and stuff like that, but our internet is around $90 a month, which is a fee that you should already be calculating in if you own a house or just anything. Another thing that we pay for monthly is our Ring subscription, our security camera subscription, and we have a couple cameras, and I believe it's $100 for the year. Another thing is Price Labs. We use smart pricing, and that is $20 a month. So that's another cost on top of everything else that you need to factor in. We also have Netflix at our property that we pay for everybody so they can just watch whatever they want, and that is $17.99. The price keeps going up on it. That adds up if you want to do Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever you have. And then another thing that we pay for is our direct booking website. Again, future Michael put the correct on the screen. That's one thing that we do pay for that is so worth it, because this last year already we've gotten over $10,000 in extra bookings just from our direct booking website. We've talked about it a bunch on our channel. If you want to watch that video, we will link it down below. One thing that we noticed that good hosts have in common is they worry about all of this stuff that we're talking about in this video, making sure their outdoor furniture is intact. They're constantly making sure that their reviews are good so that they rank higher, but also they're And that's one thing that we noticed that all the best hosts have in common is that they are working on their direct bookings, because, we can't rely on all of these platforms to do it for us. So it is well worth what we pay for it every year. If you're new here and you don't know what Lodgify is, it is a direct booking website that people can book directly with you that doesn't include all of those junk fees that just go directly to another platform. Those go directly to you, and your guests can get booked at a lower rate. You can get more bookings. You can build an amazing websites. They do have built-in dynamic pricing. They just added smart lock features. They keep upgrading all the software all the time. And one of my favorite parts about it is that you can message all of your guests in one place, from Vrbo, bookings.com, Airbnb, all from this one app. All of your calendars sync into one place, and it is in your pocket. Their app is amazing. They just updated a bunch of stuff, and we love it. We recommend it to any hosts out there. And I believe there's a code down below. You can use the code, I think it's KM15, if you want to get 15% off now. For us, it has paid for itself.
time and time again. And yeah, if there's anything else that you pay for monthly as a subscription, let us know in the comments down below for forgetting anything. But I think if you want to break that out monthly, it's like a couple extra, like $100 or $200 an extra month for subscriptions and stuff like that.
Turn around.
Oh my gosh.
That's why he was freaking out.
Is that a trash panda?
On the maintaining and the outdoor that can come indoor thought process, pest control. That is something that out here in the desert has been really crucial for us because our first couple years of owning this house, we did a DIY pest control situation. We did it ourselves for the first couple years, and we were still noticing like bugs coming into the house because the bugs out here are crazy, you guys. Like,
We're in their land. Like we put a house, or whoever built this house put it in their home, and we just want to tell them like just stay out.
Stay out. So we did hire a pest control company, and they are kid and pet friendly, and it's about $50 a month, but it has made all the difference. Like we've been to other short-term rentals out here, and we've seen bugs in the house that are this big, and like before we got our pest control, we'd see when we'd come to clean the house, we'd see like a shoe print on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And like bug juice like on the wall. Like that happened so many times, and we were like, okay, it's time like to really invest in something like that. And yeah, it is $50 a month, but it is a hidden cost, and it is something that is so important because you don't want the reviews like the bugs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Even though you know coming out to a place like this, you are in their environment.
All it can take is one bad review to hurt your listing. We had, do you remember that?
Oh, there was a goldfish that was left. It fell back behind the coffee machine.
Yeah.
And our cleaner missed it. And when we got, thank God we were here, we were the next guests because there were ants all over. We do not have that cleaner anymore. Okay. We get so many comments like, get rid of your cleaner. And we're like, okay.
No, we love our cleaner.
We love our cleaner. This is not that cleaner. That was something that was scary. So we had put ant traps in the house, which is also something you could do.
$50 a month. Find a great pest control near you. It is worth the peace of mind. Make sure it's clean and environmentally friendly and it doesn't hurt like the actual animals that are here. Do it. It's worth it. It's so worth it.
So worth it.
So everybody says get an Airbnb, and then they say, well, does your Airbnb have a hot tub? And we're like, well, we should get a hot tub. So we got a hot tub, and there are costs that come with that hot tub. Now, mind you, it is amazing to have. We love having it, but it comes in, we could make a whole video about how we deal with our hot tub. It is $185 for a hot tub cleaner for us to come once a week. He cleans it. They send us photos after. And also, if we want to have it drained, I believe it's like an extra $100.
I think it's an extra $100. He's so cute.
It is an extra $100 for them to drain it, refill it. And we obviously do that every couple of months, but like, think about it, $185 and then like an extra $400 or $500 on top of that throughout the year for drains and cleans. We do put that charge on the guest if they do mess it up, which is so rare. Just keep that in mind. If you want to get a hot tub, it will cost you. This is something that we do not tell you guys about often, but it's because we're never here when we do it.
We'll have our cleaner come and do a house check. If the house has been sitting vacant for like a week or 5 days, 4 days, sometimes even 3 days, if there were a lot of windstorms or anything like that, we just want to make sure a guest is coming into a very clean home and that there isn't possibly, you never know what could crawl in here when it's sitting vacant. So we just want to make sure that the windowsills are cleaned up and that they just check and make sure everything is locked. The house still smells good. Nothing's overflowing. Nothing's on fire. Like, we just have these house checks, and they're about $25 depending on what we ask them to do. If we're like, we need you to go grab a propane tank, that never happens. But if we did, we would probably have to pay an extra fee. But that's about $25 of a hidden fee that we don't talk about ever.
And it's $25, and it's like, yeah, but at the same time, peace of mind, knowing that your guest isn't walking into something is amazing. The last hidden cost that we didn't really take into account was replacing rugs. We have replaced
4 rugs in 4 years. Just right here.
In our living room. If you allow pets in your home and then you allow guests in your home, which you probably do, they will most likely walk in the common areas of your home over the same path that everybody else does. Those rugs over time will start to wear. If you've been watching our channel, we had a dog pee all over this one, not this one, but we got a replacement of this one. And before this one, there were other ones that got pee stains on them or spill stains on them, all that kind of stuff. So we have replaced these rugs, and this is why we like to not put our expensive rugs in the living room. We bought like really nice, authentic Moroccan rugs for our bedrooms, but like people aren't eating in the bedrooms. Dogs aren't like hanging out in the bedrooms all day long. So we felt safer doing that.
Well, I was counting how many rugs we've been through, like not only in the living room, but also in the bar room. Obviously there's going to be wear and tear in general, and you're going to need to replace things like towels and pillows and sheets. And if you haven't thought about that, you need to be budgeting that in. But also, rugs, things like that, blankets that you might have people go out at the bonfire, they might light on fire. Like, who knows, things can happen.
Those have happened.
That has happened. Yeah, just that feels like, I think just rugs, really. Wow, I didn't even think about that. What a good one.
And also, if you have hidden costs that we did not include or we just don't experience here in our area, let us know in the comments down below. We are always learning from you guys.
And I think that's it for this video. So we will see you in our next one.
Sweet.
Cool.